Because I remember the time when the guys that were participating in the dunk contest was actually participants in the game. They got McClung, Skip. He's on a two-way contract with the Sixers.
Mac McClung?
Dude, what am
I don't know Mac McClung. I'm sorry.
Nobody knows your name. Make them remember your name.
He is not the best player in the whole world, not even close. He does not have a huge payday, no big name of his is on the news every day, but when the game got tough, guess who showed up to play?
What I tell you? What I tell you? What I tell you? He hungry.
Mac McClung, that's crazy they doing that. Of the G League.
No shade to Mac McClung, but
Yeah, no
it's
shade,
NBA dunk contest.
What are we doing?
A white point guard, just 6'2", from a tiny unknown town in Virginia. He has a jump that looks like magic. His hustle is crazy and it does not match the lazy style of today's NBA stars.
What was that? Was that a 720? Yes.
While the league's top stars keep quitting the dunk contest for no reason, Mac stepped up. He turned the whole thing into a real show again.
Everybody's going to remember that name, I think, from here on out. Steph Curry called that performance unreal. Magic Johnson said McClung saved the slam dunk contest. What a night for him.
And representing Philly.
Exactly. Oh, there you go, right? Look at those Philly fans in the house.
A Philly connection.
Philly fans are everywhere. Yes, they are.
Oh, tonight! Yes, indeed.
He came back, defended his crown.
You cannot take the ball out of someone's hand, toss it to yourself, and dunk it.
And then did it again.
Gotta catch it first. Oh my gosh. Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Mac. Deep in the bag. No, that was more than pressure, Vince. That is real life flying. It's Mac McClung.
Three straight wins. He turned a boring event into one of the best shows in many years.
That kid was sick. That young fella was sick. I mean, he the real deal, man. That man came in here and put on a show. He different.
And he did it all without even being in the NBA. Sounds crazy, right? But it is the total truth. The next day, he was right back in the G League. No cameras, no big TV time, and no fame. It is like the NBA does not even care, and that is what makes it so wild. This is not some rookie who hasn't played yet. This is a guy who has been an MVP, a champion, and a top scorer, but the phone still does not ring. What is missing? What are they not seeing? To really get it, we have to go back. Back to when Mac was just a kid. He was just a boy from Virginia with a ball, a tough heart, and a dream to fly. Gate City, Virginia. Only about 2,000 people live there. One mountain, one school, and not much else. It was a quiet place where basketball was not a big deal until Mac McClung showed up. Born into a family of athletes, a dad who played football, an uncle who swung a bat, and a sister who kicked goals, Mac went his own way. He picked up an orange ball and without realizing it, chose to stand out. From his first high school games, something about him hit different. It was not his size or build. It was the way he exploded to the rim, the fire in every play. Soon his games were not just games anymore. The stands packed out, cameras showed up, and when his highlights hit the internet, it blew up overnight. One game, he dropped 64 points. In another, 47. Then in the state finals, another 47. Breaking records people thought would never fall. He passed Allen Iverson's record for most points in a season, and J.J. Redick's for a final, all while his mixtape spread across the country like wildfire. Then came the night that changed everything, his senior debut. After scoring 47 points, someone special was in the crowd. Patrick Ewing, NBA legend and Georgetown coach. That performance sealed it. Ewing wanted him, and with one signature, Mac jumped from small-town courts to the national spotlight. Gate City suddenly had the most watched player in America. But even as his clips racked up millions of views, the respect did not match the hype. To many, he was still just a white kid who can jump. The entertainer, not the real deal. And that label, quiet as it was, started shaping the path ahead. Everyone who had actually watched Mac play could see it. The kid was a real prospect. But when the official rankings dropped, reality hit like a slap. No McDonald's All-American invite, no mention in ESPN's top 100, not even in the top 200. They put him all the way down at number 233 in the country. 233. It didn't make sense. Still, even with the rankings, the bias, and the quiet whispers that he wasn't built for the big leagues, someone finally saw him for what he was, a raw, explosive talent ready for a real shot. A big university came calling, a big name, a real chance, and Mac took it like a man on a mission. He already knew the truth. His journey would not be easy. There were no shortcuts waiting for him, no media push, no guaranteed path. Every inch was going to be earned. That is when his real story began, the college chapter. This was not about viral dunks or mixtapes anymore. Now he had to prove he could hang with the best, bigger, stronger, smarter players who lived and breathed structure. At Georgetown, the magic dimmed a little. Not because Mac fell off, but because people still refused to see beyond the hype. His freshman year was solid, 13.1 points per game, the top freshman scorer in his conference, and the wild 38-point night against Little Rock that had people talking. But when analysts dug into the numbers, doubts started spreading. 39% from the field, 27% from three. Few assists, too many turnovers. He wasn't your typical floor general. He was a scorer, pure instinct and energy, the kind of player who breaks plays instead of following them. Exciting, but risky. Still, coaches believed in his potential. They saw him as a long-term project, a storm that just needed control. The pressure was heavy though. His name was everywhere online, his clips kept blowing up, and fans wanted a breakout season. In year 2, he finally showed signs of it, averaging 15.7 points, looking stronger, more composed, more patient. It seemed like he was finally balancing showtime with strategy. But right when things were coming together, bad luck hit. An untimely injury took him out for weeks. When he came back, it wasn't just his body that slowed down. His rhythm did too. He played more careful, less explosive, less confident. And that is when the noise returned. People stopped talking about potential and started whispering about limits. The silent verdict from the basketball world was harsh but clear. What you see is what you get. To the scouts, Mac McClung had already peaked. He wasn't tall enough, not long enough, not versatile enough for what modern basketball demanded. His game was too raw, too direct, too explosive. He didn't play the system way, and that alone was enough to push him out of the spotlight. Slowly, quietly, his name started to fade from the conversations that mattered. After 2 seasons of solid numbers but no promise of an NBA future, Mac decided he wasn't going to sit and wait to be forgotten. He broke from the script. He transferred to Texas Tech, choosing a fresh start, a place where he could finally play without explaining who he was supposed to be. He wanted freedom, and he found it. From his very first game, you could feel the heat. He came out swinging and dropped 20 points in his debut. He was full of fire and big attitude. This wasn't just luck. This was the new Mac. All year long, he kept that hunger. He averaged 15.5 points and fixed his shooting. He learned how to turn his wild style into total control. You could see it in his play. He was smarter, faster, and smoother. He wasn't just scoring points, he was learning how to win games. That year, he won Big 12 Newcomer of the Year. That is a huge trophy to win in college hoops. The Big 12 is tough, and they don't just give out respect. Mac earned every single bit of it. He was better, stronger, and more grown up. But even after all that work, the world still looked away. The big scouts and the experts didn't care. He wasn't on any draft list. Not the first round, not the second, nowhere. They kept saying the same old things. Too small, too simple, no future. They told him to stay in school and played safe. But Mac does not do safe. He was built to break the rules, not follow them. Staying would be giving up, and that isn't his style. So he bet on himself. He entered the 2021 NBA draft. It was a huge gamble. 60 names were called that night. His name was not one of them, not even at the very end. For most players, that is when the dream dies. But Mac isn't most players. If the front door is locked, he climbs through the window. If he isn't invited, he shows up anyway. That mindset sent him straight to the G League. It is a tough place to be, but for Mac, it was a fresh start. The Lakers saw him and signed them for the Summer League. From the first second, you knew he wasn't just there to watch. He played with crazy energy. He was diving for balls and playing defense like it was the finals. He teamed up with Austin Reeves and they were awesome together. That energy got him a spot with the South Bay Lakers. That is when things got real. The fire was back. The fans were watching. And Mac, the kid everyone ignored, was finally kicking the door down. In his first G League game, he faced Team Ignite. That team was full of stars like Jalen Green and Jonathan Kuminga. It was supposed to be their big night, but the best player on the court? It wasn't them, it was Mac. He dropped 24 points, 9 assists, and 6 boards. He led his team to a shock win. The kid they said wasn't good enough just beat the league's golden boys. That season was a massive statement. 20 points a game and great shooting. He wasn't just jumping over people, he was outplaying them. By the end of the year, he was the G League Rookie of the Year. No luck, just pure skill. Then the big call came, his NBA debut with the Lakers. He played 20 minutes against Denver and hit a highlight dunk. But just like that, it was over. He was traded to Chicago. He only got 2 minutes of playing time there. It felt like all his hard work meant nothing. But Mac did not quit. He never does. Next year, he joined the Warriors for the summer. He was even better this time. He was calm and ran the floor perfectly. The Warriors liked him, but they cut him before the season started. Same story, different team. Another door shut in his face. Then came the Sixers G League team, the Blue Coats. That is where the spark became a fire. Mac was unstoppable. He averaged 20 points and 5 assists. He led them all the way to the finals. He was the heart of the team. But people still doubted him. They called him almost NBA. He was stuck in a loop. Lakers, Bulls, Warriors, then back to the grind. It sounds like a movie, but it didn't have a happy ending yet. For guys like Mac, one mistake means you're out. If he plays great, people say it doesn't count. If he struggles, they say he's a failure. He was stuck in a fight to prove he belonged. In the G League, if you don't stand out, you vanish. There is no safety net. The world already wrote his story. Too short, too flashy. But Mac does not follow anyone's script. He didn't cry or complain. He didn't go to China for easy money. He stayed in the mud and kept grinding. He was waiting for one more shot, even if no one was offering. Then something crazy happened, a twist that didn't happen on the court, but in the air. The NBA dunk contest used to be the best part of All-Star Weekend, but in 2022, it was terrible. It was a total bore. No energy, just missed dunks. The event that made legends was now a joke. Fans didn't cheer. Players didn't even bother watching. It was like a funeral for the magic of the game. So when 2023 came around, the NBA needed a miracle. They needed someone to bring the fire back. And somehow, that person was Mac McClung. The funny part, he wasn't even in the NBA. To most people, he was just a G League player with cool videos on YouTube. But someone in the league office took a big risk and gave him the call. There was one big problem though. The rules said only active NBA players could compete. So at the last minute, the Philly 76ers signed them to a fake contract just 4 days before the show. It wasn't a real job. It didn't come with playing time. It was basically a costume, a label that said NBA player and ended before the weekend was over. But for Mac, that was enough. When the night of the contest arrived, nobody believed in him. Reporters rolled their eyes, fans barely knew his name, players whispered, "Who is this guy?" under their breath. Then the lights hit, and Mac stepped on the court. He was calm and quiet, but he was locked in like a man about to shock the world. And man, did he do it. Dunk after dunk, all clean, all new, and full of power. He made it look easy. Each jump made the crowd roar louder and louder. Even the superstars on the sidelines pulled out their phones to film him. The judges couldn't believe their eyes. Mac didn't just win, he owned the night. With a humble smile, he lifted the trophy as a 2023 Slam Dunk champ. He turned a boring contest into the most exciting show in years. For a second, it felt like a fairy tale. The unknown kid saved the NBA's biggest contest. He was everywhere. Interviews, news, and headlines called him the White Miracle. But as soon as the weekend ended, reality hit hard. No new contract, no NBA spot, no big offers. The praise went away fast. While the world watched his dunks on repeat, Mac went right back to Delaware. Back to early practices, long bus rides, and small gyms. Back to the G League, where nobody watches unless you score 40 points. Because for him, it wasn't about being famous online, it was about building something real. That mindset helped a lot when his team, the Blue Coats, made their playoff run. Mac became their leader. He wasn't just the dunk guy anymore, he was the engine. He took his game to another level, scoring 25 points and 6 assists every night. Then came the G League Finals. It was a rematch against a team that beat them before. In the final game, Mac went crazy. 30 points, 8 assists, and a cold-blooded three-pointer at the end to win the title. When the buzzer went off, he was the finals MVP. He had done it all. He led, he scored, and he won the trophy. And he did it with hard work and respect. No tricks, just pure basketball. That performance finally made people look again. The 76ers gave him a move up to the main team. It wasn't a total guarantee, but it was a real shot. In one of the final games against Brooklyn, he showed out. 20 points, 9 rebounds, and 9 assists. He almost had a triple-double. The kid who everyone said didn't belong proved them wrong again. It wasn't luck, it was pure will. Every dunk and every play sent the same message he had been sending since his small town. You can ignore me, but you can't stop me. The next season was the same story and maybe even colder. His only NBA time came in a game that didn't matter against Memphis. Less than 5 minutes on the floor. No plays for him, just a name on a list. His contract was just a formality. He wasn't in the rotation or the conversation. When the playoffs came, nobody mentioned his name. No new contract, nothing. It was like he was never there. So back to the G League he went. This time with the Orlando Magic's team. New jersey, but same old story. He was dominating a league that was already too small for him. While NBA bosses skipped past his name, Mac didn't complain for 1 second. He did what he always does. He played like a man on a mission. 25.7 points per game, 6 assists, and amazing shooting. The numbers were elite. He led his team and made their offense the best in the league. When it was all over, he was named the G League MVP and top scorer. These are the highest honors you can get there. And yet, once again, 0 NBA minutes, 0 real chances, 0 belief from the teams at the top. The only call he gets is to defend his dunk title. Why? Because the league thinks he is just a dunker. Now, we have to ask, what else does this guy have to do? He has won everything in the G League. He leads teams, hits huge shots, wins trophies, and puts up monster stats. Yet he still can't find a home in the NBA. Why? The easy answer from scouts is his size. He's 6'2" with no long arms. He doesn't look like the perfect player the NBA loves. They want tall athletes who can do everything. Mac doesn't fit that mold. But if size is the problem, what about all the smaller guys with long careers? What about the bench players who aren't even half as good as him? The truth is deeper. It is about his style. Mac does not play like a robot. He doesn't just follow a playbook. He's wild, creative, and full of surprises. He invents moments out of thin air. That wins games, but it makes coaches nervous. In a league where you have to follow the system, Mac's style feels like a threat. He is too bold for the bench. And then there's that label, the dunker. To many, that is all he is. Not a scorer, not a leader, just a kid who jumped high on YouTube. It's a lazy tag, but it sticks. He is fighting a lack of imagination from the bosses. While they look for perfection, Mac keeps proving that he is a star they refuse to see. That showman label sticks to him like glue, but it isn't even true. People think he just dunks every night. But look at this. Last season, he dunked only 1 time. Everything else was pure basketball. He ran the plays, hit tough shots, and gave out assists. It was real game control with no gimmicks. But that doesn't make a viral clip, so people ignore it. He is stuck in a loop. He doesn't play because they say he isn't NBA material, but he can't prove he is NBA material because he doesn't play. It's a trap. The guy who worked the hardest is the one being ignored the most. He is 26 years old and in his prime. He's getting better and sharper every day. But in the G League, he has already hit the ceiling. There is nothing left to win there. He is the king of that mountain. Yet, the NBA phone stays silent. So, what's next? 2 paths are ahead. First, he could go to Europe. Other players did this and became huge stars. In Europe, he could lead a team and be the main man, not a sideshow. The other path? Stay and bet on himself again. Keep grinding in the G League and wait for that one real chance, even if the only call he gets is to save the dunk contest once a year. And that call is about history. Mac isn't just a winner, he is a 3-time champ. Only Nate Robinson has done that. Not Vince Carter, not Zach LaVine. Nobody. If he wins one more, he is the greatest dunker ever. He would be a legend of a show that doesn't give him what he truly wants, to play real minutes. Is it worth waiting for a league that chooses not to see him? Or is it time to play for himself? There is no easy answer, but Mac can't stay frozen. Talent like his shouldn't be stuck in the wrong place. He did everything right. He broke records and won titles, yet the system doesn't know what to do with him. In a world of perfect fits, he is the lightning bolt that breaks the pattern. He is too good for the G League and too wild for the NBA. While the awards stack up and fans cheer his name, the front offices pretend he isn't there. So the real question isn't if Mac is ready. He's been ready for years. The question is the NBA brave enough to take him? What do you think? Does Mac deserve a real shot, or is the league done with him? Tell me in the comments. I really want to know. Thanks for watching until the end. If you like this, please like, share, and subscribe to Basketball Pulse. It helps us grow. And don't leave yet. Check out the next video on your screen. See you there.